The way you think about making like 100,000 a month is something completely different than how you approach making like 10 or 20,000, right? Time is always going to be a deciding factor.
I do a model where I do 50-50 splits with the VAs. It's unbelievable how life freeing it is. Yes, you're not making as much money up front, but a year later, I am making more money than I would have made on my own and even running the VAs on my own. It has been night and day.
Farouk, by the way, Dan, how you doing, bro?
Doing great, brother. How are you?
Good, good. So Dan, like what I was trying to talk with Farouk was, the way you think about making like 100,000 a month is something completely different than how you approach making like 10 or 20,000. Right? Time is always going to be a deciding factor. So if I was Farouk, what I would do is I would send my VA to these meetings and make him like network with all the other guys and have him ask him all those questions. So that way that they just train faster. And it becomes outside of my limited time. What are your thoughts on that, Dan?
Well, also, you actually suggested it to me, which I did about 6 months ago, is send my VAs through the EcomSniper training. I
Hmm.
don't even know why it didn't dawn on me. I mean, it's so dumb not to. But the reality is, you really need to, and I pay them to do it, their time to do it, but have them go through the course. I want the VAs to be more up on the software and everything that you're doing, even more than me. But I'll tell you, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Now I'm an old man, but my wife, we had a little conversation one day. She said, "What if something happens to you to you? How could I possibly run this?" If something happened to you. And I said, well, you literally couldn't. There's just too much time and training it would take. If something happens to me, you need to go into eBay and put them all in vacation modes because there's just no way you're going to be able to quickly be able to learn and handle it. But it was a big wake up call for me being like, this is ridiculous. I need this also set up so that it doesn't depend on me so much. And that's what I did. Now I do a model where I do 50-50 splits with the VAs, that I'm working with. It's unbelievable how life freeing it is. Yes, you're not making as much money up front, but a year later I am making more money than I would have made on my own and even running the VAs on my own. It has been night and day. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but I just
Yeah,
mentally,
absolutely.
sooner you can get to letting go or, training those VAs or paying them or doing a 50-50 split or whatever you want to do. I mean, the 50-50 split, I got to be honest, just works the best because it just motivates them to grow. And again, I have found the Pakistani culture is more in tune to that than the Filipino VAs that I've used. They seem to be more, they just want to do a job, do the hours, and be done with it. I'm not, and again, that's just with my little bit of experience. But boy, if you can get a very intelligent VA that is very motivated and do plot profit splits or give them bonuses or whatever, there is no end, of where it can go because all these VAs are connected with other VAs. You only need to train and hire one of them. They will find the rest and train the rest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know what? That is how long did it take you to get to that realization? Because that is probably like an epiphany that you've had, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've now been doing this since probably, 2017 as far as drop shipping. I had a VA pretty quick. So by 2018, I had at least one VAs, and then I had a couple, within the first year or two. So I think just having that comfort level with VAs was good, but I was still running them. I didn't have a main VA, right? I had one, that did listings. I had another one for customer service. I didn't really have a main guy, and that was my mistake. And it really was not until I got a main one probably a year and a half ago that ran the entire show has it been a whole different atmosphere. And I tell you, you're basically now a CEO of a corporation versus an employee for yourself. And I have time to be able to increase and do other projects, and really just check in on them. And it's a little tough for me because I don't like letting things go. I don't, I don't like letting go of control.
Right.
And I'll tell you, you get a good one like I have, and I'm not sure how many good ones are out there, but you got to train them and stuff. They are a million times better than me. No, no question. So it's been about a year and a half that I've had that, and it took a good 4 months to really get things start scaling, that really get things in order and in place before it really started exploding. But I mean, they got one of my eBay stores that I normally would have been at 7 to 8 thousand a month in revenue. Dude, we just hit $40,000 in 1 month. I mean, I never would have done that shit on my own.
Right. Right. So maybe the profit is not as much per order, but in the long term, it's better for you because you just make more anyways.
Absolutely, and just the freeing of it, it's just. I mean, I kick myself for not doing it years earlier. That's all.
Bro, that's actually solid advice, and I'm a little ashamed to say that I haven't started that yet because I've been so comfortable with the system that I have right now, but I know it's not fully optimized. Like my accounts can do so much better if I had people that actually cared. Do you know what
Yeah,
I
and
mean?
and again, I mean, all VAs are great. I've never run into a bad one. I mean, some are maybe not catching it as good as other ones, but it's not like I've ever, maybe I'm whatever. I mean, I've never had to fire one. I've had ones that I changed their positions because I just didn't think they could handle one thing and they could handle something else better. But boy, Sammy, man, and I think you've got a huge team. You got a bigger team than I do, I think. But um,
Maybe not. I have four people full time on the eBay agency.
Oh yeah, okay. So this team now, I got one main guy, and he literally has 10 full-time workers. I mean 10. I mean it just blows me away. I mean and
Hmm.
they're thanking me all the time too because it's full-time jobs that they have that they're very thankful to have that too. And he wants to get to a team of 20. So
Mm.
that just means they want to keep growing. But again, I think that the profit sharing model is the way to go if you really want to motivate, them to grow that business. And they see the same thing, they have unlimited growth potential and earning potentials themselves.
Hmm.
By me not just paying them by the hour, they have the ability to tap into a market and grow, as big as they want, so again, you got to find the right people. I mean, I know that's a part of it, but
Mhm.
they're out there.
So Dan, let me ask you something, right? And how would you structure this? So I run the agency model, right? And I do like a 50-50 with my clients. Like these are all friends and family. If I
Yeah.
was going to bring in like another partner, right? Like a VA and he's like the head manager, just like what you have, how would you arrange the structure for the profit share?
Well, I mean, there are VAs that would do 40/60 in the same thing. So, if you structured the same thing that the team literally gets 40% profit, and then you've got a main guy that gets 10%, but his job is to run it all. His job is to take over your job and, make this happen. You're still 50/50, but,
But there's a third party involved because
yeah, so the third party gets 50%,
yeah.
the team gets 40%, right? All the VAs and whatever that takes, okay? Or whatever, I guess you'd have to, you're going to have to get your percent in there too.
Mhm.
But you need to have a main person that's going to get, I don't know, 5 to 10%, I would think, but they need to run it all. Like that is, do not contact me unless there is something dire that
Mhm.
you need to be able to run the whole show, and I mean I don't know what you would pay them at that point because again, you know every team member is not necessarily getting a profit share, right? They might get bonuses. So they have team members that might be making 2.5, $3 an hour, right? So they're running that team. So they want to make that as efficient too. But the main person is, Maybe that's the cut. Maybe it's, they're getting 40% of the profit, but out of that 40%, they have to pay the entire team. So if they can, that's up to them. They have to figure it out. So,
Hmm.
you're getting 10%, right? You're the one that's doing the agency, and 40% is going to your main person, and he's paying the team. So that's going to force him to make the team efficient. If at the end there's not enough profit to make much for him, then he's going to have to make the team more efficient. But
Hmm.
I would think that if they're paying people by the hour, he or she can easily make a nice profit out of that and be very motivated to grow it. I don't know. Does that
True.
help? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. I think that's what I wanted to hear. So I actually believe that because if I'm getting 10% and all I did was just onboard somebody, like I'd be all for that.
Yeah,
Like if it means like don't call me unless like something is a dire emergency, I'd be all over that. It's literally a passive income at that point.
that's exactly right. And it's crazy. I mean, it's almost like that for me now. It just blows me away.
Right. My eBay accounts are like that as well, but it's only because my team is like very comfortable with the day-to-days. But it's not per se growing.
Is all your team members being paid by the hour?
Yeah. Yeah. I try
So
to
I
do
think
a 10% like profit share.
you what?
I try to do a 10% profit share, but I think like I kind of told my VA that hey, I'll give you 10% of the profits, right? Just grow it. And then he didn't end up doing anything with that.
Yeah. So that
Maybe
you don't have the motivated one yet, and that's okay. And
mhm.
can I ask, are they Pakistani? Are they
No,
the
Filipino.
Filipino? Yeah,
Filipino.
listen, I mean, it's odd, but I think it's a culture thing, Sammy.
Hmm.
I mean, I just found that the Pakistani VAs are just so more motivated to grow and make that bigger money. I never found that with any Filipinos. I mean, I tried. They just were not money motivated in that way. They wanted security, they wanted to get
Yeah,
paid by the hour. They wanted to know they were getting paid. They didn't want to take on any risk. I think that's more of a culture thing maybe you're running into.
I gotcha. Yeah, I gave my guy 6 accounts and I said, you know what, you'll get 10% of the profits. Just grow this thing, watch these videos, and then if you do well, I'll give you the entire agency a cut from all of them. But yeah, he didn't perform, and then yeah, I think it's as you said, there's a motivational aspect towards it. He and also my guys have been with me for like 8 years, so I think they're just really comfortable with
And they're
the
probably happy to be paid by the hour. That's okay. And they would take instruction by somebody. But I think you need to find
Mhm.
that go-getter motivated person that's going to scale it, not just run it.
True. I actually do have a head manager, right? But she's in Bangladesh. She's extremely motivated, but the challenge that I have with my head manager, so I have four full-time and then I have one head manager, right? My head manager, amazing at HR, payroll, she does literally everything like that. Takes care of all the little problems, but she just doesn't have I think to scale the business, right, to make those kind of decisions, it requires a different type of mindset.
There's no question. And so you've
Yeah.
already answered your own question. We keep hoping that you can find them internally. You do not have that person yet.
Yeah,
So
true.
I mean that's just where you're at. You don't have that person yet. They're out there, and just know that they are out there,
Yeah,
but you don't have them yet.
true. I have one guy like that, Noyin, but he's managing all of EcomSniper.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and
he's
you don't want to take away
exactly
from
like that.
that. I mean, you don't want to take away from that, but the reality is you're going to have to take a pay cut to get the right person. And but boy, man, you've got the perfect position to scale. So you need that partner or that. Well, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but that's where your
Mhm.
time should be spent. You need to be interviewing through people, test marketing through people to find that go getter.
Right.
It's life changing, as you know. It's life changing.
Yeah. For sure. I actually asked Noyin to start interviewing because he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Right.
they could do that. That could be their job too, is that they need to go find that. But yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. And again, you want that person that wants to make $100,000 a year and they
Yeah.
know they can. This gives them that ability to do that. It may not, it's certainly not going to start out that way, but you need the person that's motivated to do it.
True. And if you don't pay them accordingly, they're gonna leave anyways because they know what they're worth.
Yeah, but everybody you have now sounds like they're good and stable and they're good at their job,
Mhm.
and you don't want to take away from what they're doing to really run the agency. You need somebody that wants to run the agency and scale it and is good with people and will bring on team members and train them and do all of that. You need, but
Yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, they're out there. You just got to get the motivated ones and find them.
Yeah. No, it's
I lucked out. I wasn't even looking. I mean, that's how motivated he was. I talked to him on Fiverr. Hell, I think I was trying to get Amazon accounts or something, and I was not even on the market for it, and he just kept pushing
Mhm.
me. Hey, what are you doing? What's going on? What do you have? What is this or what is that? And he's such a go getter that he, he was basically making it happen, and I lucked into it because I wasn't
True.
even looking really.
True. And you know what? Like if you ever for anybody listening, if you ever see these interviews of like these big companies, they always talk about keyword hiring or acquiring talent,
Yeah.
right? Like keyword talent. Not everybody should be in an executive role, but once you find that guy, you need to keep hold on to him, pay him well, because that guy is gonna grow the business like no tomorrow.
Yeah, and to finalize that, I mean, at this point, a year and a half later, after that conversation with my wife, 80% of my business could absolutely grow without me now or run without me, and I have her connected with this guy actually might stay, he's from Pakistan, but I'm going to have him, I think he's going to come to the US and stay with me for a little bit. I want to solidify, he's a young guy, he's only like 26. So, he's my retirement. So I need him around for the next, 20 years.
Bro, I've been trying to do the same thing with my team as well. Like the whole all I want is I just want to bring them here and I want to keep them with me forever. Because
Yeah.
without them,
So,
I'm finished, bro. I'm finished.
yeah.
Like I'm absolutely finished. Like just like I could sleep at night because somebody's working, man.
Yep.
So really, man, like this what a blessing to even be able to have a team, man.
Yeah,
What
well, listen, but it's something you got to focus on, right? So
Mhm.
again, it's always blown me away the energy you put out in the universe, how it can come back. I was not very specifically looking for that at the time, but I very specifically had in the back of my head, I needed to get this system running on its own.
True.
And suddenly this guy falls in my lap. So
True. Did you talk to Will, by the way?
as far as the Amazon things,
Yeah, I think
I
Will's here
did. I
too, man.
talked to him and I talked to the other guy. Let's see. Will is billion Will, is it? Or
Will,
crypto Will?
Will, are you here?
I think that's a different Will.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a different
Yeah,
Will. But how you doing, bro? Nice to see you.
nice to see you.
Yeah, no, it was yeah, Crypto Will. He told me that yeah, he was doing like the Amazon accounts for everybody. But did you sort that out?
Um, no, no, not he doesn't do the Amazon accounts. I think about 4 months ago we were on one of these calls and there was a guy that said, "No, I have access to you know
Yeah.
thousands of
Bull
aged
Billions.
Amazon accounts." What's
Bull
that?
Billion. Yeah, the guy's name's Bull
Yeah, and
Billions.
I talked to him too. Um, I talked to two guys, so I can't remember which is which, but and he did it. He was just selling the accounts for $210 each, which is probably reasonable for what it's worth. But they were only tax exempt in 36 states and whatever, so it's nice to have if I need it.
Mhm.
But I need to go back and solving how to make some more Amazon accounts. I keep
So
running into the ID now. You know what I didn't run into before, but now, and you're probably doing the same thing. They're asking for a literal ID, but
from
I'm
what I've
hearing that people are just submitting a ID that doesn't even match, and sometimes it works. So I think I'm going to give that a
exact
try.
exactly. Actually, Farouk proved that already here. Right? That's he mentioned this in one of the meets. You just upload any idea and it works. And
And what
even
about the statement? Any idea in any statement, or did the statement have to match, or wasn't
uh,
it discussed?
so this so regarding the statement, I believe that's for a different type of suspension. Like it's not a suspension regarding the ID, like that's something new that Amazon introduced, and that one doesn't ask for the statement. And for that one, we have confirmed that sending any ID works, right? They just want to see it's real.
Yep, got it.
Like that's not expired. And for the statement, like that type of suspension, like I actually tried whatever I had that happen to me once actually recently. And whatever you told me about, like just taking a screenshot of the virtual card
Yeah,
worked beautifully. Instantly got it back.
yeah, and it's funny, and I do that. The biggest thing is you take a picture with your phone, and take a picture of your computer and put a pen in front of the card. You want to make it look real. Like I put a pen in front of the card number, even though it was a virtual card. And then I put in the address so it matched or what. Yes, and 80% of the time those worked. Every once
Yeah.
in a while it would not work.
No, you bet. I actually took just a screenshot, right? And sounds like sometimes a hit or miss, but just so you know, I only got that ID check one time, and I have like 100 Amazon accounts at this point, right?
I've only got it on the new one. So we created 10 Amazon accounts in the last month. And I would say 60% of them I got it on. So
Yeah, I so what I found was so I got it on one of my older ones that were I guess it's kind of new, but new to using it, but from the moment it happened was when I started increasing my order volume, right? There was a specific number that it triggers,
no, I
right?
agree. These definitely all happen with order volume. There's no question.
Yeah, exactly. So once we figure out that exact number, we can kind of like circumvent it and make sure to always stay under that radar, right? But
Yep.
to find that number, I think whoever gets like an ID verification, just kind of if you can report back how many orders you've done, right? When you got it, so that way we can kind of narrow down what the pattern is, right? So many people here that I'm sure like we'll figure it out within the year.
Yeah. Listen, we've solved every one. That was huge. I mean, you got to remember that almost ended me. The
Right.
Amazon accounts, and we got it solved. And I went from trying to do this all with 4 Amazons to over 30 Amazons just to have backups.
Hmm.
There's no better feeling than having so many Amazon accounts that you're not worried about that closing your business.
For sure. For sure. So Dan, how much are you like what is like a realistic, comfortable amount for you to buy an Amazon account?
I would spend if I had an Amazon account that was 3 months or more aged with an order or two, that showed tax exempt for at least 46 states. I would easily pay $100 for it.
Okay. So what about without tax exempt? So let me tell you why I'm asking, right? So you already know how to make Amazon accounts, you know how to warm them up and everything like that, right? We have a whole community here. Right. Why not, if anybody wants to like take that position, learn how to make Amazon accounts, maybe they can be somebody who's starting a service like that.
Yeah, it's funny. I mentioned to both those guys, Bo Williams, other. I said, dude, this could be a business in itself. I mean, you got VAs that's all they did all day long was make Amazon accounts. Yeah, it's a whole business in itself if somebody wanted
Right.
to do it.
Right. So it's like like Dan, you already know how to make them. I know how to make them. I understand like the value is, being able to acquire them without having to go through the process of making them.
That's right. It's just the time savings of it, the time it takes
Hmm.
to do it. I would not even blink at $100 per account if it was already working, right? Because again, a lot of these they're only going to last a few days before it gets shut down if you run into these. So you want ones that have already hit a few roadblocks. Um,
Hmm.
as long as it's done that, easily worth $100 or more per account.
Yeah, for sure. So for anybody who has like multiple computers and IPs and things like that, Like, yeah, start making your Amazon accounts and let them sit, right? There's gonna be like a marketplace for Amazon account acquisitions.
And then if you need help, I'll teach you how to do them. You just gotta, sell me some Amazon accounts.
Does anybody wanna like is anyone interested in something like that?
Or has anybody, been making Amazon accounts and have questions about it? Maybe we need to review the whole Amazon account thing.
Yeah. Does anybody have like any like issues with Amazon accounts or wants to be a part of like um I don't know, like selling those accounts? Johnny, like bro, say it out loud, man. Okay, your microphone's not working. Well, all right, yeah. So Johnny, like I don't know, like join from your phone or something, and then like we can have that conversation, yeah?
Johnny's
So
name, what's his name on the group?
Johnny, this one's for you,
Because I'm
man.
gonna message him.
You bet. But just so you know, Dan, like the or origination of the account matters a lot. So they should be made on like a clean setup and then
Yeah,
acquire and then
and we certainly do that. So I have 29 IPs and I have, mini computers. So,
yeah,
when I have mine or the VAs make them, they access that mini computer with any desk.
true. But I
We
meant
warm up the Chrome profile, yada yada yada, so,
true.
we and then we try
But
not to switch it, right? You want all those cookies and everything to stay with the account.
true. But I meant like if you're gonna be buying it from somebody, right, they should be making it on like a clean IP, no proxies, nothing like that, and then passing it over. Because that's what the
Yeah, and
whole
that, and
business
that's
like.
again the value is, I mean, I can buy an Amazon account for $10.
Yeah.
That doesn't do me any good if it gets closed after an order or two. So the value is something that's truly been warmed up, a couple small orders, it got a little bit of an age to it.
And made properly.
I mean, you can make it, anybody can make an Amazon account. That's not what I'm referring to. I need something that's warmed up a little bit.
Right. And made on a clean IP, right? And device and then it's passed over. I think like training somebody here that to make the accounts for yourself in the exact way that you want and then acquiring them, I think that's the best way.
Yeah. So once again on Johnny, do you know Johnny's username in the group? Is it Johnny or has he got a different username?
I'm not sure. But I think Johnny, do if you see us if you hear us type your like what Telegram ID, yeah? Yeah, so Johnny, you can message Dan. But Johnny, what's your Telegram ID? So that way we can see. Okay. So bro, if you can hear me, like just like answer the question, huh? How did you join this meeting? Who sent you the link? Which Sam? The VA Sam. So Dan, maybe hold off.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha.
yeah,
We'll talk further. It's
yeah,
all
I'm not
good.
sure who Johnny is, man.
Yep, all
Uh,
good.
yeah, I thought maybe a different Telegram ID or something. But Johnny, are you just to be clear, are you an EcomSniper user? Okay. Anyways, I don't want to get into the politics. So Dan, before we kind of continue, give us an update. How's your business going, man?
It's really going well. I mean, I'm still a slacker. I've yet to create more eBay accounts that, with the other methods. So that's really what I still have to do. But, we've gotten into Walmart and TikTok and, Amazon sellers and eBay. So I've got, seven strong eBay accounts, a Walmart and Amazon, a couple TikToks. So, we're doing over $100,000 of revenue a month at this point. So it's fantastic is all I can say.
Yeah. No,
Dan,
that's
can you explain what you mean with the TikTok side of things?
Well, I'm not sure if that's for this conversation. That's up to Sammy, but there's a TikTok seller account, right? Just like an Amazon seller marketplace account, just like a Walmart seller marketplace account. So
Yeah.
TikTok has the same thing.
Okay.
yeah. No, I think in the end of the day, I think what I want this platform to be is just everybody makes more money. Like period. Right now we have like the Poshmark group running. And there's guys like Farouk that are doing numbers on that platform and Ben as well. And one of the things that I see that are coming up is TikTok as well, right? But to get into those marketplaces, we just need like experts in our group that know what they're doing that can kind of lead everybody towards that path.
I can tell you 100% eBay is still way easier than any of the other markets. So it's funny, I was talking, I can't remember somebody from the group I was talking, and he was asking me about the other ones. And I'm like, well, how many eBay accounts do you have? And he's like, two. I'm like, dude, get to 10 eBay accounts before you even think about the others. If you want to open the others now to start aging them, that's fine. But it is 10 times harder to run those than eBay. You have a 10 times higher chance of losing them, way more heartache. They're very you can make a lot, but they're very inconsistent. You get violations and I'm just telling you, it's great to have, and I would never do it myself if I didn't have VAs that were doing it. Again, the reason they're doing it is because they're motivated. They get 50-50 split, but I would not
Hmm.
do any of them if I had to run it on my own. They're just way harder. So, man, my advice would be get to 10 eBay accounts generating money, get your VAs that run all of that, and if they want to run into the other ones, that's great. Or, at that point, go to the other ones. But I have enough experience at this point that stick to eBay. I'm telling you right now. And you're welcome
Yeah,
to ask any questions on that. That's up to Sammy if he wants to go down that
no,
rabbit hole. But
that's cool with me, man.